Good morning. Welcome. We try to start on time here at the Mad Science Lab. Let's see, what were we doing? Let's switch over to our screen and remember. Right. So yesterday we added buildings and NPCs in the buildings, and then different types of props and things. We also added this. We just finished battling this little room here, the hovel, with all the rats. You can see we killed a bunch of rats. We did take some damage from them, but that's okay. And there's various moms. This must be our house. And we also made it so you can't attack the NPCs. You just swap spots with them like that. There's a bed over here, a chair and a table. So we added all that, and today we're going to actually bringing them to life. So I guess that means give them some logic that determines how to move and what to do. So let's dig right into that. Just make sure I've got my popped out for the chat. Otherwise I'll miss everything. I mean, I will anyway, but this will make it less likely. Okay. Here we go. So, what are we going to do? I'd like to suggest dark incantations and candles to breathe life into NPCs, but in reality, it's more code. We don't want our bystanders to stand around dumb as rocks anymore. They don't have to behave particularly sensibly, but it would be good if they could at least roam around a bit. Other than vendors, that gets annoying. Where did the blacksmith go? And tell you about their day. Okay. Dividing vendors from bystanders. First, we're going to make a new component. The vendor. So we're going to add the vendor in components, in main, and in save load system. We are clean, right? Yep. So, oops, not that. This. Pub. Struct. Vendor. There we go. And then in main, let's put them right next to the bystander. This is very unwieldy, isn't it? Registering all these things. And then in save load system, so we'll look for bystander and put in a vendor. Just like that, in the save and in the load. Good. Now we'll adjust our raw files. All of the merchants who feature AI bystander need to be changed to AI vendor. Barkeep, alchemist, clothier, blacksmith, and shady salesman. Okay. It's in raws. So barkeep switches to a vendor. Alchemist is a vendor. Clothier and blacksmith and shady. There we go. All right, and then we have to add it to the raw master. Where is that code? Right here. Vendor. Okay. Finally, we'll just try move player to also not attack vendors. Okay. We have to grab vendors from resources. And then somewhere over here, we change this to vendor, and then vendors get potential target. And if either one is some, then we'll swap places. All right, so this should still work exactly the same as before. Oops. Quick cargo check. No, we got an error. Oh, vendor. Okay. All right. If we generate the WASM at this point, it should behave the same way with swapping places and everything. Let's just double check that. All right. So if I go up here, yep, I swap places with the patron, right? Yep, patron. Okay. Bystanders to wander around the town. We won't have them open doors to keep things consistent. So when you enter a pub, you can expect patrons, and they won't have wandered off to fight rats. Bystander AI system. Okay, so it's going to use specs. And use super. This is all going to get resorted when I do a cargo format, but that's okay. Bystander, map, position, on state. Okay, so what's the bystander going to do? Impl system bystander AI, and we're going to move the bystander type up here. Type bystander AI data. Sure, let's do it that way, and then we're going to include here, right? Oh, we have to take a write expect the map, read expect, run state, wonder what the limit is here, because there's got to be some sort of a built-in limit on how many different entries you can have in a tuple. Not in Rust, but in the RLTK, or in specs rather. Specs should have some sort of limit, right? And then we're going to grab the random number generator out of, and I'm going to add that up here. Right, and then just done. And that way we can say type system data is bystander AI data, and not have to worry about this type complexity error. Okay, we destructure it. If it's not the monster turn, then we return. All that work just to check this one variable. State, we'll run the state, monster turn, turn. And I wonder if specs has a way of setting up a system such that it only runs certain times, right? We're going to actually have to include this system in our game tick, right? I think we're going to have to do that. Entity, Viewshed, bystander, pause. In, tease, Viewshed, bystander, singular. And then pause. Well, I get mut position join. Come on. We'll put that down there. Okay, so we're going to say try to move randomly. Okay, so we're just picking a direction to go. Left, right, up, or down. Or do nothing. Which is that last one there. Okay, and then if x is greater than 0, and x is less than map width is 1, y is greater than 0, so we're not moving off the map. Let dest access map xy idx xy, and then we're going to check to see if it's blocked. And if it is not, we're going to grab our current position. We're going to set the map block to false. Interesting. We're going to update our current position. This is bothering me because what if? I don't know. There's something that's bothering me behind that. Marker? Yeah, marker. Because isn't it possible for... I guess you can't move onto a blocked tile, so the only way you could block it is if you're moving onto it yourself. But we do have this concept. Let me just take a quick look here in the RAW's spawns. If we look at the barkeep, we have blocks tile is true, but here we're ignoring whether or not the blocks tile is true, and we're just assuming that anything with a bystander AI is going to block regardless of what's here. And I guess that's okay for now, but we might run into bugs later. So now we're going to set it to true. And we're going to update the Viewshed for the NPC, which is fine because he or she has now moved. And now, yes, we're going to have to add it to our run systems. Which I think is in game state. Okay, there we go. I hit GD and I was waiting. Alright, so we have visibility, mob, map index. There's the bystander right after map index. Okay. Let mut bystander. And bystander run now. Sell PCS. And then we're going to have to include that. Oh, we included it in our crate somewhere. It's probably in lib? No. In common. No, mod. Tutorial mod. Yeah. Okay, so we just need to add that. Pub mod bystander AI system. And we'll use it. And run a check. Alright, only 5 errors. Map. Oh, that's right, we moved map to its own place, didn't we? And we do have pub mod map, pub use map here. We might have to say map : like this. I'm just looking at the error message just to see if it gives me a hint. No, it doesn't. So let me try the map : and see if that works. No, it didn't like that. Could not find map in super. It might be in crate. Oh, yes. Okay, so it did find map now. That's good, but it's probably map.blocked. Yep, it is. And map.xyidx. Bystander AI data. Missing lifetime specifier. Oh, I have to, where does the lifetime go? I've forgotten. It's been so long since I've done this. That's probably just this. Like that. No, not good enough. Generic associated types are, oh, okay, here. Does it have to be in both places or just at the end? Just at the end, okay. All right, so this works. And now if we run this, right, let's see, what did they say? If you cargo run the project now, you can watch NPCs bumbling around randomly. Having them move goes a long way to not making it feel like a town of statues. Indeed. All right, so let's generate the WASM here and try again. Just a bubble, hello. We're about to see NPCs start to move. This is exciting. So now if I just hit space, oh look at that. Oh, he moved underneath me. I guess I don't block tile. So if I hold, oh. Yeah, so the bystanders move around. The vendors do not move. Vendors are stuck wherever they are. So, okay, that's cool. We're getting somewhere. So let's check this in. Unless there's some clippy stuff to clean up. And there's not. Git add source and raws. That's it, right? Git commit and bystanders now randomly move around. Good. Quipping NPCs. To further bring things to life, let's allow NPCs to quip when they spot you. In spawns.json, let's add some quips to the patron. Okay. Raws spawns. So we'll just stick this down here, I guess. Quips. There's an array. And I'm just going to copy paste. Oh, this needs a comma. Not a fan of that JSON format. Okay. There we go. Okay, there's some quips now. We need to modify mob structs to handle this. Quips. Hub quips. Option vec string. Okay. We also need to create a component to hold the available quips, which means we'll also need to do the save load system and main struct quips. So there's that, and then main, let's just add it here, I guess. And then in save load, quips. Okay. We'll need to update raw masters function spawn named mob to be able to add this component. if let some quips like that. Lastly, we'll add the ability to enter these quips into the game log when they spot you. In Bystander AI system, okay, first extend the available set of data for the system as follows. So we're going to have to add quips now. Oh, point, game log, quips, and name. Wow, that's getting complex. So we'll do that here. Read, expect, point. Game log. Right, storage, clips, and read storage. Name. I had figured out a while ago the difference between expect and storage, and now I've forgotten it. I think expect is our resources and storage are components. I think that's the difference there. All right, and then we'll have to add them over here. So read expect for points. So we just add, it's got to be in here, right? Player pause. Quips and names. Okay, and then down here, possibly quip. Okay. Oops. There we go. I'm not a fan of this song. What's going on? I'm going to skip this. There we go. Okay. Quip. Let quip equals quips get mutt entity. If let, oh yeah, we can just combine this again. And stop hitting F1. Okay, so some quip equals quips get mod entity, then if not quip available is empty. Oh, we're going to drain the quips, huh? Viewshed visible tiles contains player pause and RNG roll dice 1 and 6. I think there would be like a RNG. We should have it like an RNG get chant 1 in 6, right? That would do this. Because we use this all over the place. If this is true, then let name equal names get entity. Let quip index is if quip available len equals 1. We're going to get 0, else we're going to roll dice 1 to quip available len as I32 minus 1. All of that as usize. Okay. Game log entries push. That way they only quip 1 at a time. They never repeat. Says that. And its name oops, I missed a back slash here. Name unwrap. Name. And then quip available quip index. That's it. And that gets pushed. Semicolon, and then quip available remove quip index. And that's the end of that. Oh, hi Quaker. RNG next 6. Very interesting. Okay, let's see what functions there are here. We have new, we have seeded, we have rand. Here's the roll dice. Next U64. Here's just a regular roll. Roll string. Roll dice based on passing the string. Oh, we can pass in 1d12. Neat. We can get a random slice index. See, this seems like this is what we would want to use with the quips, right? Return a random index to into a slice. If we pass in the vector of quips, it'll just give us a random number in that range, right? Why don't we do this? Or is that too daring? Random slice index. So we want to say let quip index equals RNG random slice index of quip available. No, it doesn't like that at all. Point, not found in the scope. Oh, point comes from RLTK, I think. What else? Game log. Game log is in crate. What else? It doesn't know quips, so let's add that. And what else doesn't it know? Name. Nope, we still have 3 errors. Oh, expected reference. So we should be able to just borrow it, right? Can we just borrow it? Like that? Ah, and then hit F1? No. Slice indices are of type uSize, and I'm passing a slice index. Oh, do I have to unwrap it? What does this look like? What does this return? It does return option uSize. So if it's empty, it's none. Okay. All right. Just a Bubble says internally uses roll dice anyway. Yep, it does. Okay, so you could if let. Yes, I will if let. That's a good idea. If let sum is this. And we're done. Perfect. Okay, I like that better. Let's stick with this. And there's a whole bunch of other places where we do stuff like that, and that's hard to grep for, unfortunately. But this should do it. So let's run the game now and see if we get. First, we have to build the WASM. Okay. Yeah, one of the things I like about this Rust, having the libraries local, right? They're all, because all the libraries are built right here and all the sources are right here. So I can just go to the definition if I just add it to the crate, right? I just have to add it to the crate, oops, and then go to the definition in Vim, and it shows me the code that it just compiled to do that. So that's really sweet. You don't get that normally with like, we don't know how to spawn chemistry set. Did we miss chemistry set from last time? All right, so let's see if these guys will quip. Okay, so we're going to check our game log here. Patron says still saving the world, eh? There we go. Oh my, I drank too much. Right down, it's too early. And then they should eventually stop talking once they run out of things to say. Perfect. But we do need to go back to chemistry set. Okay, so that was yesterday, right? Let's take a quick look at yesterday. Chemistry set. Oh, it's got a space. Maybe I forgot to put a space? Yeah, so there's a chemistry set there. And I think this error message had no space in it. Yeah, okay, so let's look for that. Oh, let's check this in first, because this is working. This is just patrons make quips. Okay, and then we're going to go to, raws, spawns. Oh, okay. I must have just missed that when I was... This is the props section. How did... Did we miss all of that stuff? A dead thing? Yeah. Okay, I think I just missed out on all the props. No, because there's an armor stand. Yeah, there's an armor stand right there. Oh, but it's not... Oh, this is in the code. This is in the code. Just the bubble says also makes for some neat debugging because you build the libs yourself, not just using precompiled binaries. Yeah, that way you can actually step into it and see everything. It's really nice. All right, gotta love modern programming. So this was in the town, right? Town. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I just forgot the space over here. Okay. All right, very good. Let's go back to what we were in the middle of. Outdoor NPCs. All right, so we'll find that this can be used in other parts of the game, such as having guards and shouting alerts, or goblins saying appropriately goblin-esque things. For brevity, we won't list every equip in the game here. Check out the source to see what we've added. Oh no, that means it's not here. Let's check out the source to see the quips. Oh. Yeah, this is the ones we added. Parishioner can have these guys here. This is Mom. Why are you in my house? Okay, so we can add these. It looks like... Okay, let's do that last. Let's finish out the code part, and then we can always add in all the quips from the source. Outdoor NPCs. All of the NPCs in the town so far have been conveniently located inside buildings. It isn't very realistic even in terrible weather, which we don't have. So we should look at spawning a few outdoor NPCs. So let's open up town. We're going to spawn dockers and townsfolk. Okay, I guess we can just put those here. This is in the made build function, but we have something called build rooms. So maybe we missed a step somewhere along the way, but that's okay. Self spawn dockers. I think I mean dock workers, but that's okay. Self spawn townsfolk. Okay. Spawn dockers. Let's put it at the bottom. Okay, for index GT, that's a tile type. Tiles, iter, enumerate. If it's a bridge, let roll. This 1 to 3. And then we can just say match on that. If it's 1, build data spawn list push idx doc worker. If it's 2, then it's wannabe pirate. And then if it's 3, it's a fisher. I guess we're going to have to add these to the mobs, right? Just a Bubble says you might be able to do for IDX TT and then not have to use star TT. Let's try it. That's one of the reasons I'm doing this stream, is so I can learn Rust better. So if I hit check now, it should check, except for spawn townsfolk. Should not exist. Oh, match roll. Yeah, so let's let's comment that line out. And this should check. Oh, we do have an error. Tiles. Build data map tiles. Left out the map. Okay, so this checks. So now we're going to try out, can we put a reference there and not put a star there? Yes, okay. I think that's cleaner rather than putting a star, so I'm going to leave it like that. Thank you, Just a Bubble. All right, so we need to add these guys, yeah, to our JSON file. So we're going to do that next. Let's fill in the townsfolk. Takes a self, the build data. And finally, available building tiles, which is a hash set of view size. Just a Bubble says, I just wanted to see if it worked. And it did. So, like I said, I think I like this a little bit better because it's clear you're just getting a reference instead of dereferencing it here. It's just, it looks cleaner to me. And part of writing code is trying to make it as readable as possible so future you can try to figure out what you were thinking back then. If RNG roll dice. So we're doing a if it's a bridge and it's 1 and 6, then in 1 and 3 we do these, right? The Scripton, thank you for the follow. And then we're doing the same thing here. For every tile is a 1 in 10 chance of spawning something. And if we are going to spawn something, then we'll go spawn one of these 4. Okay. Match RG roll dice 1 to 4. Okay, so here we're doing a star again, star IDX. Now we didn't do it up here because IDX was part of the enumerate. But we might be able to just say reference here and then, oh no. We'll see. Let's do it this way and then we'll play around with it. Build data, spawn, list, push, IDX, PEASANT, string, comma. So 2, 3, 4. And then drunk, another dock worker, and another fisher. All right, we already have peasant, so we have to add the other guys. Okay, so then close this, close this, close this, close this, and then I think I need to uncomment this. Okay, let's see if this checks. And then what can we do here to remove the star? If I put a reference here, that's just going to add an additional reference. So I don't think that'll... Let me see what happens with that. Yeah, you can't do that. And you can't do this, I don't think. Oh, maybe you can. Yeah, okay, that works. All right. And now we need to add these guys. So let's copy. And these are all into the mobs section. Okay. Where does this start here? Right here. So delete all those, and then we're going to go to mobs and put them right here. And then so we're going to shift everything over. Although it's now it's not it's lined up kind of. All right. I think it's lined up. All right, so now we should be able to run this, or first we have to generate the WASM for it, but we should be able to run around and see 1/10 of the town tiles filled in with workers and yeah, and pirates and things. Oh my! All right, so we're starting the pub. Let's leave the pub. Yeah, so there's somebody right here. That's a peasant. Peasants aren't saying anything, though. There we go. I caught something, but it wasn't a fish. A fisher said that. There's a dock worker, a peasant, a dock worker, a fisher, and a peasant. Wow, there's a lot of people in this town. Do we see anybody out here? I would have thought that there would be people out here, but I'm not seeing them. Do we have a bug? Yeah, there's a couple of people who may have wandered out from town. There's a peasant and a fisher. Let's take a look at the code. Make sure I didn't do anything obviously wrong. Yeah. Oh. No, it's doing the IDX of the build data, so it should be spawning it. I was thinking, oh, it just spawned it in some random location, but no, it should be spawning it on the bridge. Oh, maybe we're not generating bridges. Let's just double check that these things over here are bridges. When we build the town, we should take a look at water and piers is where we do that. And just make sure that those are bridges. No, it's setting it to wood floor. Was that a mistake I just made just typing that code in? Let's take a look back here. No, must be back one more. Here's water and piers. No, that's it. They have wood floor here. Okay. So I'm going to change this to bridge and see if we get some people spawning outside of town. Nope. Is this the right chapter? No. I go back too far. Yeah, there's the rat. Bringing NPCs to life. This is what we're in the middle of doing now. Outdoor NPCs. Okay. Oh, and that's the end of that chapter. Okay, so let's do this. Refresh. And see if we see any any dock workers out on the dock. Anybody out here? Yeah, okay, now there's people out here. It's wandering around in the water. Like they do. We did put in some code to make it less likely that they would use the water, but not unlikely. So they're just wandering around in the water. Okay, so that's working. Git status, git add raws and source, git commit, and outdoor NPCs. I caught something, but it wasn't fish. Yeah, what did he catch? He caught a boot. There you go. Okay, so that's the end of that chapter. Let's push this up, since we finished the chapter, and go on to the next, since it seems we have plenty of time. We're really ripping through these chapters in this thing here. We're already up to section 6. We do have a bunch to go, but at this rate, we'll probably finish this in maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We'll see. All right, so we'll go to the next one. Game stats. Oops. Up until now, we've had very primitive stats, power and defense. This doesn't give a lot of room for variation, nor does it live up to the roguelike ideal of drowning the player in numbers. In the design document, we mentioned wanting a D&D-like approach to game stats. That gives a lot of room to play with things, allowing items with various bonuses and penalties, and should feel familiar to most people likely to play a game in this genre. It will also require some UI work, but we'll push the bulk of it off until the next chapter. Quaker says he's catching fish in shallow water. What was he expecting? Yeah, that's true. Could be any random junk that somebody tossed away, right? Should put up a little sign that says no fly tipping somewhere. The basic 6 stats condensed to 4. So strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma are going to be condensed down. I'm skipping reading this whole thing. To might, fitness, quickness, and intelligence. This is a pretty common mix for other games. Let's open components and make a new component to hold them. So attribute, and then the 4 attributes have base modifiers and bonus. Okay. It's in the tutorial. So, and they're both going to be... Oh, this one just gets debug, serialize, deserialize, and clone. This gets component. You know what? I've been leaving debug off of all of these guys because we're not printing them out anyway, so who cares? Pub struct attribute pub modifiers bonus. And then pub struct attributes with a plural. Your might, fitness, quickness. I don't know why I didn't do copy paste. Intelligence. Okay, so those are those. So might is your general ability to hit things. Fitness is your general health. Quickness is your general dexterity. And intelligence, which really combines intelligence and wisdom. Okay. So we make a structure for an attribute and store base, modifiers, and bonus. And we've got to register these in main and in the save load system. Okay. Attribute and attributes. And then save load. Attribute. Attributes. Yeah, okay. Attribute isn't actually a component, it's just used by one, so you don't have to register it. Alright. Let's not register it and see what breaks. Now we should give the player some attributes. We'll start some... Oh, if I don't register it, then the save load system won't work with that, right? Just a bubble says that's a lot of data to save. Yeah, so everything... Right? Every component has to be saved. And right now we just store it in a JSON file. And the last time we saved was back in November. And it's just a text file. So it's easy to somebody to just go in and edit and change all your stats or whatever. But there it is. Now we should give the player some attributes. We'll start simple and give every attribute a value of 11. We're using a D&D style 3 to 18 3d6. In spawner.rs modify the player function as follows. Okay, the reason I was pausing for a second there was just, I was thinking instead of doing all this copy paste, we could make a default attribute and just derive default. But then I was thinking, well, how are we going to do that with NPCs? But NPCs, that's fine because we'll just, they've got the stats in here, right? All right, so let's go ahead and add that to player. Oh, it's in spawn, right? Here's player. So there's the hunger clock. So after the hunger clock, we're going to say with attributes, and it's going to be might. Base 11. Modifiers is 0 and bonus is 0. I'm going to copy that for fitness, quickness, and intelligence. Close that off. Like that. Okay. So we probably don't want to write out every single attribute for every NPC in the spawns.json, but we'd like to be able to do so if we want to. Take a normal NPC like a barkeep. We could use the following syntax to indicate he has normal attributes for everything but is smarter than your average peasant. Oh, just by specifying this one attribute. Okay. This pattern is powerful because we can gloss over the details of everyone who's basically scenery, but fill in as much detail as we want for important monsters. If you don't specify an attribute, it defaults to a middle-of-the-road value. So let's extend the structs in mob structs to support such a flexible format. Mob structs. There we go. So we have mob. We're going to add attributes down here. The barkeep probably is the smartest, says Just a Bubble. He opened a bar in what seems to be a fishing town. Yeah, that is pretty smart. The server, thank you for the follow. All right, so we have mob stats here, which don't change, but then we have the mob attributes, which are the 4 things we're adding. So let's grab that, pub struct mob attributes. And they're just all I32s. Fitness, quickness, and intelligence. Notice that we're making attributes required. How are we doing that? Oh, because it's not an option here? Okay. So you have to have one for the JSON to load. Then we're making all the attribute values optional. So if you don't specify them, we'll go with nice normal value. All right, so in raw master, they have RAS master here. That's funny. We're going to change spawn named mob, which is here. And maybe we can do that right after the quips. Let mod adder. See, and again, we're doing this. Okay, you know what we're going to do is we're going to just say, and we're going to go back and add a default for the attributes. This should cargo check fail. Oh, look at that. Can't find struct attribute. It should be in the components, which is in crates. Did I do something wrong here? Oh. Wait a minute. Where did I put it? Let's first of all, let's write everything and quit. WA QA. Okay. I could have sworn I edited it. It was in this one here. Oh, which file has been changed? No, I don't want to write to it. So if I quit here, so what I did was I opened up a second editing session. Let's quit out of that and see what the difference is here. Diff x source. I want to save typing. I'm typing more to save typing. There's no difference. Okay, so basically I just blew it away by accident. NVim components. All right, one more time. At least it's not a lot of typing. And then I'm going to derive default for that. Where was it? All the way up here. Okay. So this is not a component. Pub struct attribute. And bonus. And then attributes. And then I have to go back and look. Fitness, quickness, and intelligence. And now write that out, and I'm going to look at main and see if that's... Yeah, they're both there. Okay, so it's just that one file that got messed up. Source tutorial spawn. And now we're going to cargo check. Component is not implemented for... Oh! Yeah, so it doesn't belong in the save load system. Huh, okay, so... Attribute, and just delete that, and that. And default is not defined. So, okay, now we're going to define default for it. Impl default for attribute. I think this is the way you do it. Fn default. Well, Rust will tell us, right? Or like this, and it returns self. Something like that. Let's find out. If we do a cargo check, and Rust will complain about what I'm doing wrong. Implicit returns blank. Right, okay, so if we should be able to do now, say attribute base 11 modifier 0 bonus 0 and see if that builds. Now it's saying default is not implemented for attributes with an S, and we should be able to derive default for that. Right, because its components already have default derived specified for it. Mr. Glitchbite, how you doing? How was your stream? All right, so I think the attributes default works. Let's add that to the player. We are currently working on adding stats to the player, different types of stats, so we can have different kinds of interactions. It should be fun. Mr. Glitchbite says you wasn't able to exploit Eternal Blue the same way you did yesterday. Oh, what's Eternal Blue? You're doing the OSCP thing, right? Cyber attack exploit developed by U.S. National Security Agency. Ah, very cool. Well, hopefully you're doing all white hat stuff. Right, what were we doing? Attributes. And that's not here, it's in spawn. There. So we should be able to say with attributes and then default. Here. And get rid of all of these lines. Like that. Okay. So that checked and we only have 3 warnings. Probably because we're not using those fields yet. You had it working yesterday, but it's not working today. Hopefully you've got source control. You can roll back or whatever. Tomorrow morning you're going to mess around with some game programming. Oh, good. Weekends are for game programming. All right, so we're not using adder yet, right? We had just done that in RawMaster, right? So we were in the middle of editing RawMaster. I didn't do that. I did this. Right, so we had just done this, and I was going to say use default. Okay, and that's what we did. Nothing running. There we are. Okay. I knew it was in there somewhere. All right, so that saved us 4 lines of typing, all of that extra work. And now we're doing if let some might, and we're going to modify the might. The fitness, the quickness, or the intelligence, and then we're going to add that to the mob. Ah, interesting. Mr. Glitchbite says, tried rolling back, running exact same code and commands, no dice. If the endpoint is borked. Yeah. Are you in control of the endpoint? Or maybe somebody saw you hacking yesterday and decided, oh, I'm going to make it tougher now. If let some might mob template attributes might. Like that. And then we need to do the exact same lines for each attribute. Right? So we have fitness, quickness, and intelligence. Fitness. Quickness. And intelligence. Does that check? Oh, you don't have control of the endpoint. Okay, interesting. Mob template is misspelled. All right, so that checks. This checks for the presence of each attribute in the JSON and assigns it to the mob, right? So far so good, but what about the bonus field? A bonus of 0 for every value isn't right. We're going to need to do a lot of game system calculations, so we'll create a new file in the main project, game system. And what's this doing? Value minus 10 over 2. See HTTPS roll 20 net D&D ability scores content. Okay, let's see that. Whoa, that's bright. Oh, maybe that's this calculation here. Value minus 10 over 2. Yeah, so value minus 10 gets set to 0. Pearl Coco, thank you for the raid. I added a sound effect for the raid, I swear. I tested it yesterday, and I didn't hear anything just now. That's a shame. How was your stream, Pearl Coco? You were working on a CLI calculator or something, if I remember correctly? For Satisfactory? I'm sorry if I'm misremembering. Yeah, okay, cool. How did that come along? All right, so attributes. All right, so we're creating a new file. Sorry, I got lost in that blinding white background there. Source. What are we going to put this? Tutorial and game system.rs. And just going to have a quick value I32, and it's just value minus 10 like that over 2. I guess we can put in the comment. There we go. If you don't like light mode, you could add a dark reader extension, says Just a Bubble. Not a fan of extensions in general, but I mean, I do have my system set to dark mode, so the website should pay attention to that, right? But not all of them do. I think this is Chrome, right? Yeah, it's Chrome. Pro Coco says I got a first run that has some promising results. Excellent. I'll have to check out the VOD. So what we're going to do, at the top of main, we have to add mod game system and pub use game system. Right. I think I have to do that in lib instead. No. Okay. This is map and tutorial. I think, I'm trying to remember how I linked everything together. It might just come in by default, but let's see. There, in mod, that's it. That's where we need to put it. Pub mod game system, pub use game system, : star. That's what we had to do. I remember now. And then in spawner, oops, Control P, spawner. We use create star here, so we're good. And then bonus is adder bonus 11. Oh, darn. That's going to ruin everything because now that has to go in components, the default. Over here. Adder bonus 11. And I think I need to add that create adder bonus. Yes, okay, so that did the trick. And then do the same in raw master. No, we don't have to do the same in raw master because we did it for the default. Ha. Ha on you. Oh, we do need to do it for raw. Damn it. Okay. I thought I was being clever. Raw master. Bonus : and this is 0. It has to be adder bonus might. And then finally, adder bonus intelligence. Although we could go one more step. All right, see you, Pyro Coco. Thanks again for the raid. We can take this one more step. Tutorial components. There we go. how did I end up with GUI? Components. There. Okay. And we can just say impl attribute fn. What do we want to call it? Let's just say new for now. Like that. New base. Let's say new base, and then give it an I32. And then I can just say returns an attribute. Attribute of base modifiers 0, and then bonus of header bonus base. And then I wonder if we can do this. Attribute new base 11. Can we do that? Can the default call into the new, if we say fn new, attribute new base 11. I think we can do it this way and then remove this and just say derive default. Now that we have a new without an argument. Damn. Oh, I misspelled it. attribute. Okay, adder bonus doesn't exist, but that's okay. All we have to say is adder bonus attribute new base might. And see if that works. Yeah, okay. Perfect. So new base fitness. New base quickness. That double typing was bothering me, so I had to switch out that window. New base intelligence. Okay, so this should check. And it doesn't. Oh, I have to return attribute. Oops, what did I do there? Attribute. No. Oh, arrow. Private associated function. Okay. Forgot those need to be pubs. Yes. Okay. Perfect. So that saves a lot of code. I mean, you look at the difference between these. Right. We have one line for these four, and then each one of these we don't have to modify each one of those and have duplicate everywhere. So I think this looks nicer. All right, so before you compile run the game, add blank attributes entry to every mob and spawns.json to avoid errors. So we do need to add this one bit of blob of code, but we're going to modify the barkeep. Mobs. So for every mob, we're going to add this attributes. Oh, we need a comma. I'm going to put it in the middle like that. All right, so maybe we can put it before each renderable. Oops. Like that. What the heck? Oh, this is a little different because we used a formatting code on this. Okay. I just wanted to see what the type of the person was. Where's the name? This guy. Why does this one not have a name? Oh, there it is, orc. Okay. And then kobold. It's a priest. Wow, there's a lot of mobs in this game. Parishioner, a blacksmith. Clothier, Alchemist. Mom. Mom has attributes. A peasant, and then props. Okay, so we're going to look at the barkeep now. There we go. And then change the attributes here to add intelligence of 13. Right, it was a string? No, it was a number. Okay. So let's save that. And then we're going to try... Actually, I'm going to run it from here because this will, if I have an error in my JSON, it'll show it up there. Okay, so it seems to have worked. I see a depth of 1 here. I know this is really tiny, and the problem is if I resize it, it doesn't resize cleanly. So, I mean, it squishes or it stretches like this. So it looks a little weird, unless I can get the ratio just right, and I never can. All right, what we're going to do? Oh, right, it's just attributes at this point. We don't, and we can't tell based on the players or by the NPCs what their attributes are. So Control C that. Okay, so we're good. And we did that. And now we're going to add skills. Before we start to use attributes, we should consider other element with which they go hand in hand, skills. All right, first let's check this in. Just a Bubble says you need a way to view stats. Yeah, I was thinking maybe there could be like some sort of spell you can cast on somebody to see what their stats are. Git add source and raws. Git commit stats. All right, so now we're going to do skills. So this is similar to the attribute stuff in that there's a skill singular and a skills plural. But the skill singular is just an enum. And then, oh, I forgot to add this guy here. Serialize, deserialize, clone, EQ, partial, EQ, and hash. Guess we're going to be using it to index into a hash table. And then we have component. We don't need default here. Component, serialize, deserialize, and clone. Okay, pub struct skills. There. And there's the hash. Okay. If I'd read ahead 2 lines, I would have seen the answer to my question right away. Okay. Skills also has debug. Yeah, I've been leaving debug off of all of these guys because we never print them out. So I've just been not. And if we need it, I can always add it. Okay, so if we add skills, we need to add them to the enum in the future, but our basic skill structure can hold whatever skills we come up with. Don't forget to add skills, but not skill, to main and safe load systems. So I'm going to write this before I forget. And then we're going to add skills. And then save load. Skills. Okay, that should check. It doesn't. Because I misspelled partial equal. Oh, and now we need to add the hash map to our components, which we never had to do before. Okay. So open up spawners.rs and let's give a player a skill of 1 in everything. Where do we do that? With skills. Oh, I see. So we're creating a skills up here, and then we're just tossing it in to the mix here. Okay. So let mut skills, 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 hash map new. Like that, and then skills, insert, skill, melee 1. And then this will be defense and magic. And then at the bottom of this guy, after the attributes, we're going to say with skills. Okay. And we're probably going to have to add skills up here. Oh no, I have create star, so it should pull it in. Let's see. Yep. Okay. For mobs, we'll also assume a skill of one in each skill unless otherwise specified. Okay, so we're going to add this to mob structs. An option of a hash map of a string of either two. Sorry, I know that's probably hard to see with the highlight there. And I probably need to add hash map here, right? Does cargo check tell you if you have a redundant import? Okay, this allows us to omit it completely in many cases, no non-default skills, which will avoid hitting a mob with a penalty if we forget to give them a skill. A mob can have skills overridden, should we so wish. They have to line up with a hash map structure, so let's give our barkeep a skill bonus. It won't do anything, but it works as an example. Okay. So let's put it right next to attributes here. Skills is going to be a melee of 2, like that. And then we have to modify raw master to insert the skill. So where are we doing this? It's in spawn named mob, which is here. So maybe right after the attributes we can put this. This is the same code as in the player spawn, right? So let's just put that here. And then we're going to say if here, if let some mob skills I had that right. For SK in mob skills iter. This looks like mobs kills to me. Instead of mob skills. Alright, iter match sk.0 as stir. Why did I put a space there? I don't know. Melee skills insert skill, skill melee star sk.1 comma, and then we'll just do this, and this is defense and magic, and then this is rltk console log format unknown skill referenced. sk.0. There. And then we have to say here eb equals eb with skills. Alright, check that. Do we have to import skill, or is that already there? Oh, I forgot that these need to be equals. Just a Bubble says cargo check should tell you about unused imports. Yeah, but will it tell me about redundant ones? Like if it says, hey, you've got more than one here. Oh, the match arms have incompatible types. Oh, I need to brace these guys so they all have units. I'll let cargo reformat that for me. And then semicolons. That way they all return unit. Yeah, okay, that worked. Making level, experience, and health a component and adding mana. Should we check this in for now? We have the skill stuff. We'll just say basic skills. Get at source and raws. Hit commit. Show basic skills. Okay. So components, we're going to add a pool and pools. Starting to see a pattern here with this singular plural thing going on. Okay. And one of them is so pool is not a component, but pools is. So, yeah, we'll just remove component. And again, I'm going to leave debug off. Pub current. Pub struct pools. And mana. XP is now 32. But you'd think that, you know, for you'd want these to be pools as well, right? Because you can be drain, you can get a drain level and then, okay. I won't overthink it. So we create a new type to represent the depletable resource, a pool. Pools have a maximum and current value. This represents getting injured or using up your magical power. The max is unchanged, but the current value fluctuates. So it stores hit points and mana, XP for experience points, and level for level. So we're going to define some defaults for these. So back in game system. Okay. Let's save this out. And then, wait, before we do that, I want to remember we have to add pools to here. And to our save load system. There we go. So that should check. Okay, so now we have all of these little tiny functions. Yep, okay, so game system. +10 plus adder bonus fitness. Player HP per level, fitness times level. Okay. And what is this doing? Let mot total equals 1. And 0 dot dot level. Total plus equals I32 max 1 to 8 plus adder bonus fitness. This is an interesting calculation, and I think we can make this a little functional, a little more functional, right? We can say 0 dot dot level fold 1 I32. Oh, I've already forgotten the format for fold. That sucks. My brain is really going. Rust, fold, syntax. No, not syntax, fold. There's an argument which takes the... Yeah, it's the second thing. Okay. So this is sum and val. And just sum plus equals I32 max 1 to 8 plus adder bonus fitness. Sum. Oh, just that. Right? think that's it. I'm going to close this because it's blinding me. It doesn't like that. Some plus val. No. Yeah, okay, so that's a little nicer. And then we have mana per level. That wasn't necessary for me to do, but it helps me learn, which is the whole point of the stream. I mean, this code is perfectly fine, but this, the more I do that, the more ingrained that will be in my brain. Bonus intelligence. And then pub fun mana at level. Mana. Wow, mana per level times level. What is this doing? If skills contains key skill, else -4. skills contains key skill, else -4. That's hilarious. Misspelled level on mana at level. There we go. Thank you, Just a Bubble. Okay. If you've been following along, these should be really easy to understand. Players get 10 HP per level, modified by their fitness attributes. NPCs get 8 per level, also modified by fitness, with a minimum of 1 per level for bad rolls. So in Spawner, we can modify the player function to fill in these pools for a starting character. Okay, so we're going to run a cargo check on that real quick and see what we got wrong. Oh, didn't I just fix that? And then skill doesn't exist, so use create skill. And skills. And then this is skills. There, okay, so that's good. And now we'll go over to Spawner. And attributes. There we go. So with skills and then with pools. Hit points. Pool. Current. Player HP at level 11.1. And max. Player HP at level 11.1. There's another instance of the 11 hard-coded in here. And then mana. And max. Oops. And then XP is 0 and level is 1. Okay, and likewise we'll need to give NPCs the ability to have pools. At the very least, we have to add a level attribute to their definition, but let's make that optional. If omitted, it goes with 1, so you don't need to modify every single fluff NPC. We'll also make optional HP and mana fields so you can go random defaults or override them for an important monster. So let's go to mob structs. And we have skills, and after skills we'll say pub level. Option I32. Pub HP is an option I32. And pub mana. And then in the code, we're going to have to add this, all of this crazy stuff. Nope. Raw master. And where is this? Oh, so this is all in our attribute stuff. So they have mob fitness and mob int. This is still all hard-coded with those values. I'm looking for where's mob fitness? Oh, it's down here. I'm just looking, I'm scanning this to make sure I'm not missing it in here, and I don't see it in here at all. So we can move these guys down. Right, so right after here, we can say let mob fitness is 11, mob int is 11, and then, oh, it does set this here and this here. Okay, so we do have to do those. Okay, oops. What did I do? There we go. Okay, so I did miss those. So these things go here, and then under fitness, mob fitness is fitness, and under intelligence, mob int is intelligence. Okay. Oh, I forgot to add it here. EB equals EB with adder. I left that out before. So let mob level, if mob template level is sum, then mob template level unwrap else 1. This can be cleaner, I think, right? Like with an unwrap or. Let mob level mob template level unwrap or 1, I think. And then we have let mob HP is equal to NPC HP mob fitness mob level, and mob mana that level. There we go. And then we're going to create a pool. Zero XP, no matter what the level is, I guess. Pool, current, mob HP, max, mob HP, and mana. Okay, and then EB is EB with pools. Did I forget on the skill? On skills? No, I got that down here. Okay. All right, we're capturing the relevant stats during their building and calling the new functions to help build the NPC's pools. All right, let's see if this checks. NPC HP doesn't exist. I thought that was in the... oh, maybe I just need to include it. Yeah, mana at level. Okay, so let's just include those. I think I can just do this, NPC HP and mana at level. And I made a mistake somewhere. Oh, I forgot a semicolon. Yeah, okay, so now we're down to 2 warnings. Time to break stuff, delete OSET. Okay, before we break stuff, I want to clean up whatever those warnings are. Oh, this should be val. No? Wait a minute. Okay. Let's take a look at this again. Oh yeah, we're not using it at all. So we don't need to fold. All right, all we're doing is summing this up. I mean, I can change this to an underscore. But we're just adding the 8 plus the fitness to the total level times. All right. We'll leave it like that. Okay, so that cleans everything up. So now we'll check this in with mana pools. What do we call them? Skills pools. Git commit.m added pools of skills. All right, so that's all that, and that's all that, and now we're going to break stuff before we. And I think that'll wrap up the stream, right? We're almost. Oh no, I only have 20 minutes left, and we're not going to be able to get to this melee combat. Oh, it's just editing the existing one, so maybe it's okay. Let's find out. So components, we're going to delete combat stats, and then everything is going to break. If you don't want to follow all of the changes directly or get confused, it happens to all of us, the source code for this chapter has working versions. So in mob structs, we can delete mob stats. In raw master, we can delete the code assigning combat stats. In spawns.json, you can delete all of the stat blocks. Wow, okay, so we are doing a big refactoring. In which case we will save this for tomorrow because this is a big refactor. All right, so let's push this up to here, and that's not what I want to look at. I want to look at this one here because we did do a bunch of work today, which is nice. Maybe what we can do is, because there was something I was playing with Togglebit's code here, which shows streamers, does a Twitch search, and I added this thing in here, but because they just released a new version of Rust that allows you to do that, so I think I need to do a Rust up. So let me play with this just to reset my brain. Kafka says, isn't that fold just level times 1? I don't think so, because I think, I was thinking that, but I think the way it's working is that each time you call oh yeah, no, it is going to be the same. We're not changing the fitness value here, so it is the same exact value each time. I would have thought that, you know, as you go up each level, the fit your value changes, but it's not adder bonus at level. Yeah, I think you're right. I think all it is just multiply the your level times the bonus, just like this thing here. Maybe later it's going to get more complicated. Level times I32 max. I think that's it. I think you're right. It might mutate the state in the future. Yeah, it might. We don't know. Check if state mutations or NPC HP calculations. I'm a poet and I don't know it. Okay, so we'll do that. Simplify NPC HP based on current logic. Okay, push that up. All right, so what I wanted to do actually, so do a rust up here, because why not? And then there was one other change I wanted to make to toggle bits code. I made that change and I tested it on a different system, where I actually had the latest version of the Rust compiler. It was just released like 4 days ago, something like that. Where you could put very simple things in the printlins. You can't do expressions, like you can't say x dot y or something like that, or x plus y. But if you just have a simple, and then it has to recompile. But if you just have a simple variable name in there, you can just throw it in. And I do have 10 more minutes, so there was one other change I wanted to make after that. Yeah, so one change I made was to say if you don't give it an argument, it just dump out everybody in the software, game, and development category, or whatever the category is called. Or I also had it where you could say limit it to 10. So now I'll only search for the top 10 by viewers. So those are two changes I made. The other change I want to make is, you see how some of these go long? So I want to have it calculate the longest one and then put the vertical bar somewhere. Just a Bubble says, if you're going to do it like that, you got to add 1 to make up for the total starting at 1. Oh, you're right. You're right. Thank you. We start at 1 and then we just keep adding on that thing, so it's going to be 1 plus this. Otherwise, HP could be 0 if level is 0. Yeah. Wow, this is slow. Oh, because I did a rust up? Yeah, now it's rebuilding everything. That was smart. Rust up update. Okay, so while that's building, so I added that. That was pretty simple to do. All I did was add this extra use size thing. Default value of 0 means show everything. In the original logic, it'll end up as 0. It starts as 1, and then it just keeps adding to total. So it should, and it adds a minimum of 1 each time, right? So that's what we're doing here. So I think we're safe. So what I did was I added this limit here, and then I used the limit down in main. I grab all the entries and then I just do a take limit. I wish there were like a take limit or all if limit is 0 or whatever, but I didn't know how else to do that. So I set limit to either 0 total, the total that we found, if there was no limit specified, or the limit that was specified on the commands line, and then I just do a take. So a couple other changes I wanted to make, like I said, first was lining up these things, because these kind of are jagged. The other thing I've noticed also is that there's some people who like to put new lines in their description, like here, so it ends up kind of like this. So let me see if I can fix that one first, because that should be easier to fix. Where do we print? We print it here. So this is the entry title. So if we look at where we get the title, there's this toString. I should be able to say, can you do replace on a string, say new line, to Unicode ellipsis character. Copy, paste. Can I do that? Oh, there has to be a comma. Okay. All right, so that worked. Let's see if that actually eliminates all those new lines. It should. Yeah. Okay, so there we go. Somebody just had a new line at the end. That's fine. And there's that dash points. Okay, so I like this change. That's a very simple change. So I'm just going to add this to the thing. No, replace new lines with... Nope, that was dumb. With ellipsis. Oh, I keep doing that. Git add source. Git push. Okay, so that's that. And now I'm out of time, unfortunately. The other thing I want to do, like I said, what if you put ellipses in your title? Well, then we get extra ellipses. That's all. I just wanted to have it all on one line because it's kind of annoying when you're trying to scan through all the usernames and then there's blank lines in there and stuff. So, and also this thing here where some of them just go long. Oh, look at that. There's a language that's not 2 characters. There's an other language. I would like to meet the person who speaks other. I have to think about what we want to do in this case, because I don't want to push this all out. But here, like this Badiran Skywalker, this goes a little too long. And this is interesting because this is shorter, right? But it's pushing it out because the formatter thinks that those are more characters than they actually are. Or fewer characters than they actually are, or something. Something's going on here. So we have to look at that one as well. And then somebody's doing some sort of a Unicode thing here that doesn't quite map to my terminal Unicode. Maybe they were trying to put sunglasses on them or something. All right, so that's something to play with another day. But we got this one done. At least that one's fixed. And then we'll tomorrow maybe, or not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. Next time I'm going to stream is Monday. Because I can't stream on weekends. Run. And let's do a quick run of Rust to see who's streaming. Togglebit. Okay, let's go see Togglebit. Raku and Rust. Somebody's playing with Perl and Rust at the same time. Alright, let me go to my pretzel music here and pause that. And pop into Toggle Stream and listen to what he has to say. Oh, he's been streaming for 20 minutes. Okay, so not too bad. Let us go raid Togglebit. I'm sure a lot of us already got him there anyway. So thanks for hanging out with me today. Thank you, Just a Bubble, for all the help, and Kafka. Thank you. Yeah, string length. I agree. String length is kind of crazy, especially with Unicode and graphemes and all that kind of crap. All right. I will see everyone Monday, hopefully. And I hope you have a great day, great weekend, and take care.